It has been 2 years since a Union County deputy found an 11-year-old boy with a dead chicken around his neck, handcuffed to a porch. He never took the stand or got an opportunity to share his story with the public about how he suffered until now. At 13, he says he has nightmares that his former foster mother, a former DSS supervisor, will kidnap him since she is out of jail. WBTV's Pamela Escobar is the only reporter to sit down with him. She is on your side with his story. Pamela?
I've been asked to protect the boy's identity. We will continue to call him Michael, hide his face, and change his voice. I spoke with him on his birthday several weeks ago and again this week. For his birthday, he was showered with gifts and celebrated with family. It was a stark difference from the boy found outdoors wearing a t-shirt on a cold day nearly 2 years ago. This Union County home on Austin Road is where Michael lived with an ER nurse, Dorian Harper, and a DSS supervisor, Wanda Sue Larson. Michael remembers when he was discovered shivering on a porch with a dead chicken around his neck in November 2013. When you saw the police come that day, what did you think?
Well, I got really nervous and happy that he came up to the porch, and well, I don't know what he said at first, but he said he saw the handcuffs. He said, "Why are you handcuffed to the porch?" And I said, "Because they didn't want me to run away." And then I knew they wouldn't believe it, which they didn't. So they asked where the parents were, and I said, "They're inside."
Court records showed Dorian Harper released several dogs on the deputy, and the deputy called for backup.
The house, we had a lot of dogs, so upstairs there was a lot of fleas in the room, and it was dirty, and sometimes there'd be holes in the wall from where Dorian or Wanda Sue would try to hit me and miss. They were just hurting me, and that's wrong, hurting children.
At Dorian Harper's sentencing, prosecutors described the hurting as torture.
A lot of times I would bleed. Sometimes they wouldn't clean it up. Sometimes they didn't care. They just leave it bleeding. Sometimes Dorian, he'd stitch it up. Like I was bleeding. I got holes in my head different times. And like he either stitch it up or use medical staples.
Harper's guilty plea was for 6 felonies and 1 misdemeanor, including child abuse, assault with a deadly weapon, and maiming without malice. But his plea deal only gave him time in prison for 3 felonies, a maximum of 10.5 years. Wanda Sue Larson pleaded guilty to 2 felonies and 2 misdemeanor counts, including child abuse and willful failure to discharge duty. She apologized for not protecting the kids and was out in 16.5 months. Michael says when he wasn't beaten, he was handcuffed.
They had a railroad tie, and it had a hole in it, and they had a chain, like just a chain and a lock, and they had handcuffs either on my hands or my legs. They had a lock on the outside of the door of the room I was in. They locked that. They had the keys, so I was locked in. I couldn't get out.
Prosecutors said the children had no beds in their rooms. Michael says sometimes he couldn't sleep because he was worried Harper would hurt him in the middle of the night. Now he has his own room and his own bed. I keep on thinking that your life must be so different now.
It is. I like my life now. It's better than it was in the past. Well, I have a bed I can sleep on now. Now I can see my mom every weekend.
Michael now lives with his mom full-time and has therapy 2 times a week. There's still a DSS hearing about whether that arrangement will become permanent tonight at 11. See the video when he learned earlier this month that he would no longer be bouncing around foster homes. Also, I did try to track down Wanda Sue Larson for comment, but was not able to find her.
You know, I want you to point out, because as we were talking during the story, it's so chilling, but he really wanted his story told.
That's absolutely right. I spoke to his mom before Wanda Sue Larson was released from the jail,
and at that time she was telling me that he wanted to speak, but we wanted to take it slowly. We wanted to make sure he was absolutely sure. He was talking to his therapist about it. We just didn't want to rush into this. We also, it should be noted that we did do this interview weeks ago, and we waited just in case he wanted to back out or wasn't sure. So,
and I respect that about you, and I will be looking forward to tonight's report. We're glad he's safe tonight.